Nebraska's trusted news source. This is Channel 8 News Midday.
We begin with the latest in the war in Iran. The U.S. naval blockade in the Strait of Hormuz is leading to tense standoffs.
If you do not comply with this blockade, we will use force. The whole of the United States Navy is ready to force compliance. Now,
to the U.S. Navy telling ships in the region to turn around. According to a Central Command, 0 ships have broken through since the blockade began on Monday. Hello everyone, and thank you so much for joining us. I'm Andrew Ward. Military presence in and around Iran is expected to increase in the coming days, with 10,000 troops headed to the region. But President Trump hinting at another round of negotiations between the U.S. and Iran this week. Meanwhile, leaders of Israel and Lebanon agreed to a 10-day ceasefire just moments ago, according to President Trump. ABC's Olivia Rubin has more from Washington.
The U.S. Navy putting the pressure on Iran, enforcing a tight blockade of all shipping in and out. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth saying the blockade is, quote, the polite way that this can go.
If Iran chooses poorly, then they will have a blockade and bombs dropping on infrastructure, power, and energy.
The goal of the blockade, to force Iran into making concessions in peace talks. So far, the Pentagon says 14 ships have turned around because of the blockade.
Captains of all these ships have made the wise decision not to move, transit, or run this blockade.
General Kane also announcing an expansion targeting Iran's shipping network anywhere in the world, indicating the focus will potentially be on targeting ships linked to Iran's so-called dark fleet of illicit oil transported to China.
Will actively pursue any Iranian-flagged vessel or any vessel attempting to provide material support to Iran.
But so far, Iran not backing down, threatening to retaliate by halting all trade in the region and calling the blockade a, quote, prelude to a violation of the ceasefire. Still, there is hope of a second round of peace talks between the U.S. and Iran. According to Iranian state TV, the head of Iran's negotiating team met with Pakistan's Army Chief General today, adding the general is expected to travel to the U.S. next.
And on the other front of the war, President Trump saying the leaders of Israel and Lebanon will speak later today for the first time in 34 years. Those talks coming after weeks of strikes from both sides. Olivia Rubin, ABC News, Washington.
And when major developments happen in the war, we're here to keep you updated and up to speed on our Now Local News app. We are keeping track of decisive moves from both sides and how they affect you here at home. Scan the QR code and download the app today so you don't miss any important updates. All right, let's talk weather here right now. Beautiful sunshine. It's just a gorgeous start to your Thursday out there right now. We got temperatures already in the mid-70s for many of us. Let's get on over to meteorologist Houston Hall. Let's get a closer look in our first forecast here for us. Good morning, Houston.
Hey, good morning. That's right. It is a beautiful, beautiful afternoon. I was just outside and I didn't really want to come in. It was just so nice. But, you know, once this show's over, I'll go ahead and enjoy the rest of the afternoon. And if you do have plans to enjoy this afternoon and evening, I would say do that because a cold front moves through in less than about 24 hours, to say the least. By this time tomorrow, it's going to be a little chillier and we're going to have a whole lot of winds. Right now, look at this. We're warming up very nicely. Low to mid 70s. 70 down in Beatrice, 74 here in Lincoln. We're actually one of the warmer spots, tied with Kearney. 76 in Falls City. Off towards the west, they're warming up pretty nicely. There's still no 80s out there just yet, but I think O'Neill might just be getting close to that. Notice the dew points right now. We've got a little bit of drier air off towards the west. A little bit of moist air off towards southeast Nebraska. We are starting to get that south wind, 15, 20 miles per hour with gusts to near 30, and nothing going on satellite and radar except a little bit of cloud cover off towards the west. Well, this is what it could look like as we go into tomorrow afternoon. Once the cold front moves through, a little bit of light snow, rain out there across the state. I'll show you how cold we're going to get in a few.
New details now. Lincoln police are investigating a pair of possibly connected burglaries. Here's one first. First, we brought you this as breaking news during yesterday's morning show. Police think that the driver in this pickup at the bottom left of your screen there checked out the area near 9th and Van Dorn and then returned and broke into Romantics, the adult store right across from our station. That was a surveillance camera from our station. But police think the same suspect also broke into this local trading card store just a few hours later. Channel 8's Jake Coleman spoke with the owner on how they're cleaning up this mess and moving forward.
A local sports card store broken into early Wednesday morning. Their front door smashed in, leaving shattered glass, and more glass cases destroyed inside. According to the shop, the damages, an amount of merchandise totaling between a loss of $10,000 to $20,000.
They cleared out a bunch of our Pokemon graded cards and then a bunch of Husker memorabilia.
The owner of Capital City Sports Cards, Chris Dietrich, says despite the robbery, they only opened their doors 1 hour later than normal and received an outpouring support from the small business community and customers coming in to shop and donate to lend a helping hand.
I'm up to 30 or 40 missed phone calls and Facebook messages and everybody just stopping by to see. I mean, everybody, it's out of the kindness of their heart, and it's been cool to see the outreach from the community.
Dietrich says since he opened this business back in 2018, this isn't the first theft. In fact, it happened one other time at a different location. And he feels, due to the growth of sports card industry, that leaves places like his with a target on their back.
It's a good time for us to be live, but it's also puts an X on our back for stuff like this.
According to CNN, Pokemon cards are igniting a national crime spree, and that is part of what was stolen at Capital City Sports Cards Wednesday. Customers told me off camera that as soon as they heard what happened, they wanted to come shop and show their support. But for Dietrich and his shop, despite the losses, there's only one thing left for him to do.
We can't do anything but move forward, so it's starting to load up cases. We have amazing customers here, and so we've had, like just said, somebody came and donated a couple things for us to sell. It's just put our head down and keep grinding. It's day in and day out. It's just a rougher day than some days.
Reported in Lincoln, Jay Coleman, Channel 8 News.
Developing now an update on a major construction project. We just heard from the mayor moments ago about Project O Street. Construction has already begun in the area and drivers are already seeing the impacts. 14th Street between N and P Streets currently has a full road closure. This video submitted to our Now Local News app by citizen journalist Brian. We're going to be breaking down the mayor's full announcement tonight at 5 o'clock. Another closure today to be aware of. Water main repairs in northeast Lincoln have closed Havelock Avenue between 70th and 84th Streets. If you live in the area, your access will be maintained, but for everyone else, the recommended detour is 70th Street to Cornhusker Highway to 84th Street. LTU says they expect the work to finish up by Friday, April 24th. Only on 8, a Husker Hall of Famer spending his career giving back. Now he needs a little help in return. Baron Miles was celebrated on the field and later honored in the Nebraska Hall of Fame. But right now he's trying to hold on to hope as his family faces their worst nightmare. Channel 8's Daniel Da Silva explains.
Married for 29 years, Baron and Jenny Miles first met on the UNL campus. Together, they sought to build a solid foundation for their 3 kids, and they based it on the support they had received through the years.
We're a close family. It's a football family, basically.
Taking values from his time as a Husker that ultimately helped lead him into the Nebraska Hall of Fame, they took that support and they also gave it back. He'd volunteer at schools and started sports programs for kids.
And so stuff like that's tradition. That's the culture. That's what it's about.
Things were great, and the family moved out of state for more football opportunities. When their daughter became diagnosed with a rare illness called gastroparesis at age 16, she began to lose weight rapidly, 30 pounds in a month, and would vomit constantly. Jenny, who had helped lead the family's fitness business, had to quit her job to take care of her.
Just because you're going through, a hardship or a health crisis, the bills don't stop.
Due to the rare nature of Ava's condition, she needed to travel to the Cleveland Clinic for help. But with sepsis and the need for her heart rate to be constantly monitored, the only available transport was air ambulance. The cost, $40,000. And it was a claim that had been repeatedly denied by their insurance carrier, United Healthcare.
It's just really, really hard to be in that position. And you feel like, you are paying for health insurance, you have jobs, you are doing the responsible things, and it's not cutting it.
Jenny's older sister started a fundraiser to help change the family situation, and it did tremendously. It helped get Eva the air ambulance to the Cleveland Clinic, where she received surgery and was given a gastric implant to help her stomach function properly.
Your faith in humanity when you see the people, their level of caring.
Things took a turn for the worst when Eva's implant gave her another rare condition called MALS, and doctors told her it had to be removed. She now has to make her way back to Cleveland again, but with more insurance denials, the family needs the community's help once again.
Danielle De Silva for Channel 8 News.
Still ahead, Viva volunteers by one local hospital is giving them a shout out right now. A live interview coming up after the break.
Meet Lincoln's deal detectives at Salvage Warehouse. They're uncovering huge new savings.
Month. And this year, there's a huge push across the country to get more people involved in their communities. Here today to share opportunities at CHI Health St. Elizabeth and Nebraska Heart is Volunteer Services Manager Tanya Hansen. Tanya, thank you so much for stopping by today. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, so when we're talking about this, what are some ways people can volunteer over at CHI Health?
CHI Health. So we both have volunteer opportunities at St. Elizabeth and Nebraska Heart.
Yeah.
Those opportunities can be our gift shop, our information desk, our hospitality room to help those that are waiting for their loved ones in surgery. We also have many opportunities in our ER, our burn unit, at a desk at Nebraska Heart Hospital. So there's a vast many opportunities. I really encourage people when I talk with them to see what their interests are, see what they would like to do, what kind of interactions they would like to have with people. So I work with them and see what's going to be the best fit for them as well. And we have quite a few volunteers. I have anywhere from high school, college, all the way. I have a 92-year-old volunteer right now. So a lot of them are just wanting that sense of purpose and that sense of belongingness, but also just to bring a smile to our patients that come in, our visitors coming in. It's stressful. People coming into the hospital, it's overwhelming to them. It may be a stressful time for them as well. Or it can be a great time with a new baby coming in. So one thing that I love about our volunteers is they're really ambassadors of human kindness. So when a person walks in, they're stressed or overwhelmed or excited, they see a happy face. They have a face that encourages them. What can we do to help you? And make their hospital experience the best that we can.
Is that why it's so vital to have all these volunteers?
That is so vital, absolutely, because they need to see that encouraging face, that hope, what they can give to them as well. And what I see in my volunteers is they just really enjoy that, to give people encouragement.
Yeah, absolutely. And then what are some other ways that people can you share more about the national push here this year that get more people out there and involved?
Exactly. With the celebration of our 250th anniversary of the Declaration independence, the administration is really pushing a campaign called America Gives. So it's a really national push to get people to serve in their communities. And that's what I, like to see even in Lincoln, whether it's at St. Elizabeth, Nebraska Heart, Food Bank, Humane Society, is volunteers, when they're giving to other individuals, that there's that sense of purpose and belongingness, but that person receiving that encouragement, receiving that acknowledgement that they have value and they deserve the dignity and respect, that makes a world of difference to anybody walking into a hospital, walking into a food bank, no matter where they're at. And at CHI, St. Elizabeth and Nebraska Heart, that's our goal, is that when they're walking in, they know that they are welcomed and that we're going to help them through whatever they're going through at that time.
Absolutely. All right. Find more information at chihealth.com.
Yes, chihealth.com. Go to the patient and visitors tab. You'll see volunteer services. Apply online and be more than happy to talk to you.
All right. Sounds good. Tanya, thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you so much.
All right. Houston, what's coming up next?
We could be tracking a little bit of a weather pattern change as we go into tomorrow. This time tomorrow will be a lot different than right now. I'll show you this whole forecast in a few.
Founded and operated by American veterans and patriots, we are a personal injury law firm that brings a warrior ethos to every case. We are Barry Law.
From big moments to local victories, we're here for all the action. Sports stories that go beyond the scoreboard. Every team, every matchup, every night, we're on your sideline. Channel 8, bringing you Nebraska now.
Transform your outdoor space into a luxurious retreat with a custom Azenco outdoor pergola from Fireplace Stone & Patio. Designed with elegance and built for comfort, motorized pergolas paired with progressive screens and Magnetrek technology enhance your outdoor space and put you in control. Beautiful, functional, effortlessly stylish. Visit a Fireplace Stone & Patio showroom today and discover how to elevate your outdoor living experience. Fireplace Stone & Patio. Inspired living inside and out.
I depend on my car, so I take care of it with parts from RockAuto.com. Everything I need to know is at Rock Auto. My car isn't rare, but when I fix it myself, it's special.
All the parts your car will ever need, Rock Auto. Refrigeration inspiration comes in every Samsung refrigerator at Schaefer's. Family-forward designs, like the hub to keep you connected, and that's just the beginning. Samsung's new Flex Zone model, Sphere ice makers, an ingenious beverage center elevate your options, putting your thirst first. Add Schaefer's everyday value customer service and now free delivery. On your Samsung purchase, it's easy to see why life is easier at Schaefer's. Local, trusted, and family-owned since 1946.
Founded and operated by American veterans and patriots, we are a personal injury law firm that brings a warrior ethos to every case. We are Barry Law.
Developing now, a weather emergency here in the Midwest. Severe flooding trapping cars as fans were leaving a baseball game. It's just one example of historic weather hitting millions of Americans right now. ABC's Hannah Battah explains.
Overnight, powerful storms slamming the Midwest after days of severe weather across the region. A state of emergency declared in Wisconsin. Heavy rain flooding roads in Milwaukee, leaving drivers stranded, prompting multiple rescues. The water more than waist deep in some areas, major freeways forced to shut down. The downpour even spilling inside the Milwaukee Brewers Stadium. A possible twister tearing through Clinton, Missouri, damaging homes, businesses, and power lines. Farther east, a different weather extreme. Another day of summer-like temperatures today from Charlotte to New York, with D.C. topping 90 degrees. The unusually warm spring is driving up pollen levels, triggering allergy symptoms like itchy eyes and breathing irritation.
With climate change, there's more pollen every year, so it actually is getting a little bit worse every year.
Doctors say it's only expected to get worse over the next few weeks, especially in big cities.
When you're near a big city, you have a lot of pollution, and then you have allergies in combination with it. It does two things. One, the pollution creates an irritant effect. And then the second thing is that actually the pollution kind of can push your immune system into a more what we call type 2 or allergic response.
Hannah Battah, ABC News, New York.
Now, for your Storm Alert Team forecast with meteorologist Houston Hall.
Today is kind of one of those days where it's just like, man, you just gotta kind of admire it. We've been seeing above average and warm temperatures, and this just looks like a beautiful day. Look at all the green out there. It's greener than before, my goodness. It's a beautiful sight. We did get a little bit of moisture, so things are growing. It's 74 degrees, a whole lot of sunshine, not a cloud in the sky. Look at that, a whole lot of construction going on out here. Must be doing some road work. That's a one lane each way. So if you're traveling North 48th and Cornhusker Highway, ABC Seamless Cam, be aware of that. Could cause some travel issues for this evening if you have any commutes down there. 74 right now in Lincoln, 71 in Hebron. Our highest temperature, O'Neill's getting close to that 80-degree mark. I think they might be the first one to do it. Very nice afternoon so far. We're seeing 72 in Omaha. We are actually one of the warmer spots across southeast Nebraska. Well, the winds are out of the southwest, about 10, 15 miles per hour, gust up to near 20 miles per hour. It had nothing going on, not even a cloud showing up on our satellite and radar. Not even a drop. But now notice this cloud cover out here. That's going to play a factor. That's why temperatures will be a little cooler off towards the Sandhills region. That's going to be ahead of a cold front, and this cold front is going to be through this time tomorrow. So watching the midday tomorrow, this cold front will most likely be moving on through right at this time. Well, tonight we're going to be starting to see that cold front enter into parts of the panhandle. A little bit of light rain, a rumble of thunder will be possible. And then there's that cloud cover. It's going to increase as we go into tomorrow morning. As you're headed out the door tomorrow, this is going to be about 5 to 7 a.m. The cold front should just be passing the Tri-Cities, if not maybe a little quicker. A little bit of light rain ahead of this cold front. And then there is still a little bit of a severe risk. The next update will be here in about the next hour. I would not be surprised if this is all on out of here. Notice this morning, tomorrow morning, I should say, we're going to get that cold front, and that's going to move through by lunchtime. This will be the best chance for a little bit of light rain and a thunderstorm. It's going to be right here in far southeast Nebraska, so this marginal risk will probably be right here where these showers are, but the greatest severe risk is going to be off into parts of Kansas, Iowa, Missouri, and Iowa. And then look at this. Light rain, light snow off towards the panhandle where they do need some much needed moisture. But then after Friday evening, things clear out, and then we're looking at a cold Saturday morning. Temperatures below freezing. Take a look at the wind gusts. There's this cold front. It's going to move through. All right, there's Friday morning, 4 or 5 a.m. Wind gusts out of the north, 40, 50 miles per hour. Moves through about 8, 9 a.m. through much of the state. You can see gust up to 35, 45 miles per hour. And then that will continue across much of eastern and southeastern Nebraska through your Friday evening. So we're looking at really a blustery sort of afternoon and evening on Friday and then going into your Saturday. Wind speeds for the rest of today, though, we can enjoy this at 10 to 15 miles per hour, gusting near 20, 25. And then the temperatures, we're just now starting to warm up. Going to get into those low to mid upper 80s. Tonight, look at this, 57 degrees. As you head out the door tomorrow in southeast Nebraska, you're going to be in the 60s and 70s. So don't let that fool you. You might forget the jacket. And then cold front moves through and they're like, oh no, it's a little chilly. That's right. Now Friday we do have that small chance of maybe a few sprinkles or a light rain shower. Southeast Nebraska as that cold front moves through. Saturday it's going to be on the windy side. Sunday, beautiful, beautiful. And then Monday and Tuesday, we slowly warm up. A little bit of moisture for some rain and storm chances on Thursday and Friday.
All right, sounds good. Thank you very much, Houston. Coming up this midday, infighting within the Supreme Court, how the justices are handling their conflicts as they openly trade criticism of one another. highest court, with the justices openly criticizing each other, and now an apology is being offered. Here's ABC's Sophie Flay.
This morning, multiple Supreme Court justices are facing scrutiny for rare public criticism of their colleagues.
The justices need to return to acting like the final court of review.
Speaking at Yale this week, Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson slamming the conservative justices, claiming they've used emergency orders to benefit the Trump administration.
The court's stay decisions can, at times, come across utterly irrational.
Jackson claiming the justices are acting too frequently on issues that could be handled by lower courts, such as trans people in the military and the protected status of immigrant groups.
There is value in avoiding having the court continually touching the third rail of every divisive policy issue in American life.
It comes as Justice Sonia Sotomayor apologizes for comments she made about Justice Brett Kavanaugh, who was part of a majority decision on immigration enforcement. Sotomayor saying, "This is from a man whose parents were professionals and probably doesn't really know any person who works by the hour." Now she's apologizing, saying, "I made remarks that were inappropriate. I regret my hurtful comments. I have apologized to my colleague." Conservative Justice Clarence Thomas also speaking out publicly, telling an audience at the University of Texas that the progressive movement is a threat to America.
Progressivism seeks to replace the basic premises of the Declaration of Independence, and hence our form of government.
Billionaire Harlan Crow was in the audience.
It is so special to have our dear friends Harlan and Kathy Crow join us today.
It's the first time Thomas has publicly acknowledged Crow since the scandal involving gifts and undisclosed luxury vacations he took with the billionaire. Thomas later amended his disclosure forms. Sophie Flay, ABC News, New York.
Still had a major settlement why a children's video game is at the center of this judge's decision.
From Nebraska's trusted news source, this is Channel 8 News Midday.
Breaking now, the Big Ten will have its first ever conference volleyball tournament. The conference announcing the tournament will be played in Fishers, Indiana this fall. That's the home of the Indy Ignite professional volleyball team. The matches will be played from the 20th until the 25th, so right before Thanksgiving. According to the conference, the top 15 teams will make the tournament. The regular season will now just be 17 matches, with each team playing the other one time. More on this story to come tonight at 5 o'clock. Right now, the community is stepping up for vendors who are now without a place to go.
To be just so unexpectedly, abruptly closing, I mean, this is a life-changing alteration for them.
Painted Tree Boutiques closing its doors, leaving dozens of small businesses to search for a new home. Several spots across Lincoln are opening their hearts and doors to offer space for vendors in their time of need. Channel 8's Emma Norwood spoke with one of those lending a helping hand.
Across Lincoln, the effects of Painted Tree Boutiques closing its doors are being felt. But one local business is making sure no one gets left out in the cold.
So we had some extra spots open, thankfully. So I was able to accommodate 9 of the Painted Tree vendors that had to evacuate yesterday, and I'm hoping to add a few more. We're just doing all we can to make sure that people can have a home and have a platform to sell their stuff still.
Creative Collapse Collective of Nebraska immediately stepping in after the announcement of the closure. For owner Melanie Rizak, the decision to help came easily because this hits close to home.
For some of the Painted Tree vendors, I mean, that was either their only source of income or a large part of their income. You know, that's how they're supporting their families. So to be just so unexpectedly, abruptly closing, I mean, this is a life-changing alteration for them. And so it's heartbreaking to see small businesses in the community being just uprooted and having no place to go.
Creative Collabs taking in 9 vendors so far to fill these empty shelves. And Rizak isn't stopping there. She's planning to move some things around inside the store in hopes of giving more vendors a new home.
This just really magnifies small businesses and the importance to the community that they fill. The small businesses are the ones, you know, that are donating to schools and giving back to your daughter's cookie company or anything like that. So I feel like small businesses really are the backbone of Lincoln, and I definitely think that they have a good support system in the community behind them.
Reporting in Lincoln, Emma Norwood, Channel 8 News.
All right, here at home, it's a Honda Lincoln camera. Blue skies out there right now. Temps already in the mid-70s. Gorgeous start to the day. Let's get to meteorologist Houston Hall's got an updated forecast here for us. Good morning, Houston.
Good morning. It is turning out to be a beauty of a day, and well, I mean, there's a lot of green out there. Take a look at down Beatrice, where it's 72 degrees right now. And you know, I was very big into landscaping in high school, and gotta say that grass looks beautiful right now, and as that grass is most likely very refreshed after they saw a decent amount of rain the past 48 hours. Well, right now, temperature-wise, 72 in Beatrice, 74 in Lincoln, and 76 in Falls City. So we are the second warmest temperature in southeast Nebraska. O'Neill is on the edge of that 80-degree mark, 76 out in Holdrege, a little bit of a 60s out towards the west. Dew points, on the other hand, got a little bit of moisture still in eastern and southeastern Nebraska. Now, where it is off towards the west, it's a little drier. And that dry air is going to be even drier as we go into tomorrow once the cold front moves through. We're having a little bit of a southwest wind, 10, 15, maybe close to 20, gusts to near 30, 35 miles per hour. So these winds will continue, and that will make for some critical fire weather as we go through the rest of this afternoon. Take a look. You can see those darker spots on the map that you see there. That's going to be where your fires were previous a few weeks ago. But cloud cover off towards the west, and then that's what it could look like here in the next about 12 hours. So walk you through this whole interesting forecast and main weather.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you very much, Houston. New at midday, massive settlement between Roblox and the state of Nevada over safety concerns for young users. The gaming platform agreeing to the more than $12 million settlement over claims that it failed to protect kids online. ABC's Rena Roy explains.
It's being called a first-of-its-kind settlement. The gaming platform Roblox agreeing to pay $10 million over claims it failed to protect kids online.
I'm proud to say that our state has agreed to a settlement with the interactive gaming platform Roblox.
The money, which will be given to the state of Nevada over the next 3 years, will help support programs for kids that offer alternatives to screen time.
This money is going to be used for preventive programs to help children participate in innovative non-digital programs such as clubs.
Another $2.5 million will go towards an awareness campaign and law enforcement efforts related to child safety online. The settlement also requires Roblox to make changes to its app for younger users, which will go into effect nationwide in June, including age verification, restrictions on nighttime notifications, and no encrypted messages between kids. In a statement, Roblox says it's proud to have worked alongside the state's attorney general to reach this landmark agreement, which builds on its work to establish a new standard for digital safety.
Roblox is played by nearly half of all kids under the age of 16 here in the U.S. and has an estimated 85 million daily users around the world. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Happening tonight, a deep dive into spring cattle health challenges. Nebraska Extension is hosting a webinar for Nebraska beef producers and industry professionals to discuss the latest research on late spring herd health risks. Topics include an update on New World screwworm and prevention and diagnostic strategies on bovine pink eye. That starts at 7 o'clock tonight. Husker baseball is preparing for a big series against number 12 USC this weekend. We're going to hear from the Huskers later today, asking them what a series win over the Trojans would mean for their program. This comes after that massive victory against Creighton on Tuesday night, and now the Husker players are already getting fans fired up for this weekend.
Everybody needs to show up and show out.
Yeah. We got to pack Haymarket.
Yes,
pack
I
Haymarket.
agree.
Get everybody loud and proud, chanting for us, and just let the crowd rock. Let's go! Woo!
We'll hear more from the Huskers this afternoon, asking them how this series could impact their NCAA regional goals. Hear their answers tonight at 5. New details from some Husker students taking on the Masters. It's a tradition unlike any other. UNL students selected to work hospitality at the Masters tournament. The group's spending nearly 2 weeks in Augusta, Georgia, learning on one of golf's biggest stages. Channel 8's Rod Fowler has the story.
A moment that won't soon be forgotten, but this story isn't about Rory McIlroy's latest green jacket. It's about a group of college students living out an experience they won't forget either, working behind the scenes at one of the most iconic events in sports, the Masters tournament.
Seriously, like every day I'd wake up and I can't believe like this was my life kind of thing. Like
UNL students were selected to work hospitality, spending nearly 2 weeks in Augusta. They traded the classroom for long days and even longer shifts. The professor leading the group says the real value of this experience goes far beyond the moment itself.
To put it into perspective, a student just mentioned yesterday, after working and coming back, this was at the airport, her exact words was, "My standards are different now." So I think that speaks a lot, right? And that's what Masters is about, right? It is an amazing place.
On the sidelines of Augusta National, these students weren't just watching history, they were contributing to the experience, serving some of the most high-profile guests in the world.
I would say just like one word is just like unreal. People would die to be able to go there, and it's just like somebody had mentioned to me that it's like learning the lottery. So I was just like, that's how I felt every day, just very blessed to be there.
The students saying the work was demanding, but what they took away far outweighed the tiring days.
And it kind of connects all of us, because I didn't know a lot of the girls prior, even the ones I went to school with, and now I have a lot more friends and connections here too.
The course, tradition, and the moment itself certainly left an impression, but the students say it's what comes next that matters most. While one story of a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity comes to a close,
it's a dream more come true for my grandpa, as he loves golf.
Another is just getting started. Reporting for Channel 8 News, I'm Rod Fowler.
Right now, a new hands-on fossil dig is coming to Morrill Hall. The university partnering with the Frontier Tech Lab from Nebraska Innovation Studio to recreate a fossil bed exhibit where kids will soon be able to dig up true-to-life fossil replicas. They say they scanned real fossil bones and used 3D printing to recreate them, resulting in scientifically accurate but durable replicas. This exhibit is expected to be open in June. Meanwhile, Lincoln is in the top 15 in the country for affordable rent. That's according to Wallet Hub. They say although the cost of rent has skyrocketed in recent years, Lincoln remains relatively affordable for renters. Take a look at this map here. Lincoln coming in at number 12, Omaha not too far behind at number 21. Wallet Hub says the city with the most affordable rent, though, is up here in Bismarck, North Dakota. Still to come here this midday, new information in the debate surrounding Tylenol, pregnancy, and autism. What a new study has found and what it means for expecting families.
Don't miss the Hot Tub and Swim Spa Blowout Expo this weekend at the Sandhills Global Event Center. Browse a huge display of hot tubs, cold therapy tubs, and swim spas from 5 major brands at up to 50% off. Financing is available and show admission is free. That's this weekend at the Sandhills Global Event Center. Visit hottubexpo.com.
Take the road to savings at Ernie's and Ceresco's Worth the Drive sale. Interest-free financing and free upgrades in all departments. Perks like unbeatable savings in furniture. Free box spring or adjustable base upgrade on mattress sets. Free tear-up and haul-away in flooring. And free express white glove delivery on appliances. Plus, 50% off all outdoor furniture. And big Connecticut water system savings.
A new study says the drug does not have an effect on children developing autism. The study, published in JAMA Pediatrics, analyzed 1.5 million children born between 1997 and 2022 and found that less than 2% of those exposed to Tylenol during pregnancy developed autism, compared to 3% of those not exposed to Tylenol. Now, this study comes after President Trump and his administration urged pregnant mothers to avoid the painkillers. The FDA then initiated a process to update the safety label on the drug to suggest there was a link between use during pregnancy and autism. Although medical organizations pushed back on that claim, a prior study found Tylenol use in emergency departments fell 16% immediately after the administration's announcement.
Now, your Storm Alert Team forecast with meteorologist Houston Hall.
Got a little bit of a breeze out there, Honda Blink Cam. The flag looks like that's a south breeze, and indeed it sure is. What's better than one flag? Why not 3 flags out towards Aurora? Look at these flags. They are absolutely going on a nice, beautiful day. It might be on the breezy side, but you know, temperatures are like spring-like. Upper 60s, 70s, even some 80s out there. I got that right. If I was a betting man, I would have won some money. 80 degrees in O'Neill right now. 74 here in Lincoln Hebron. 71 in Grand Island. Holdridge might be our next 80 on the board this afternoon. 74 down in Beatrice, 72 in Omaha. So I think we got a good chance to warm up even more, as really the dew points are getting a little drier, which means we can warm up a little faster. Winds right now, they're mainly out of the southwest, 5 to 10 to 15 miles per hour, gusts to near 20, 25 miles per hour. Nothing on satellite and radar. It's as still as it could be, if you can believe that. Now, this cloud cover off towards the panhandle, that's going to be ahead of our next cold front. That means our new batch of fresh air, as we've been kind of just having that muggy, sort of warm and moist air. Well, this is tonight. That cold front's going to edge into parts of northwest Nebraska. We could hear a rumble of thunder out there, if you can believe that, and that's going to maybe mix in with a little bit of snow. So the cold front, that's tonight. It's going to move down towards the east, going into your Friday morning. Now, this cold front's going to be half and half the state. Off towards the east, our temperatures in the 60s and 70s, so you're going to walk outside and you're going to be like, man, I thought I needed a jacket. Don't let that fool you, because this cold front will move through just by lunchtime, and that's going to bring a whole lot of north winds, and that's going to be that chilly, cold air, and then temperatures will drop from about the 70s to the 50s within a matter of 30 minutes to an hour. There's our little thunderstorm rain chance as we go into about 11 a.m., 1 p.m. on Friday. Now that doesn't really look like much, if anything. a light rain shower in southeast Nebraska. If anything, the better chance looks to be out here. A little bit of light rain and maybe a little bit of flurry activity off towards the panhandle as that cold front will sink in early in the morning. Colder air out there. Better chance for a little bit of snow possible. Then by Saturday morning, clear skies. After a cold front, yeah, that's not good. It's going to be very cold and it's going to be a little bit below freezing, especially off towards southwest Nebraska. So if you have any plants, I would start to take them in as early as Friday morning. Wind gusts, on the other hand, there's this afternoon. There's that cold front going into 5 a.m. Tomorrow morning, look at it, splits half and half. Northwest winds, south winds, warm, cold, moves through about lunchtime, and then all of us experiencing some wind gusts, 35 to 45 miles per hour. And then that will continue all through the day, going into the evening. If anything, a little bit of it gets a little worse in eastern Nebraska, gusts up to 40 miles per hour. Meanwhile, for today, the wind speeds will stay sustained about 15, maybe close to 20 miles per hour. So definitely a little bit on the breezy side. That's going to help with our temperatures, getting into those mid to upper 80s here in Lincoln. Now tonight, 57 degrees. Yes, that is correct. That might even be just sort of lowballing it as you head out the door. I told you 60s, 70s, that's going to drop once this cold front moves through. So the high temperature is going to happen in the morning Friday. And then by the afternoon, we're going to be sinking temperature-wise. Saturday, windy, sunny. Sunday, a lot better than Saturday, if not a very top 10 day. Next week, we are looking at maybe some rain storm chances.
All right, sounds good. Thank you very much, Houston. Coming up right after the break, a jury deciding on the Ticketmaster lawsuit. Find out what the verdict is and what it means for fans buying event tickets.
Meet
Concert goers. A bombshell decision in a case against Live Nation and its ticket platform Ticketmaster. A New York jury finding the company operated as an illegal monopoly. ABC's Andrea Fuji explains what's next.
A win for consumers. That's what state attorneys general say about the verdict that found Live Nation and its subsidiary Ticketmaster are an illegal monopoly. Welcome to the Eras Tour. Highlighted by the fiasco getting tickets for Taylor Swift's Eras Tour, the jury in New York agreed with nearly 36 states who argued that Live Nation made nearly every concert for every artist too expensive as it took over venues and ticket sales, triggering long wait times and leaving millions empty-handed.
It did this by trying to control the venues, trying to control the performances, and also adding on, as I understand it, various fees and other costs to the distribution and sale of tickets.
Live Nation CEO testified he's very proud of how his company evolved to serve artists and fans, saying the company innovated its way to the top of the industry. But the evidence included messages between employees bragging about gouging customers and robbing them blind. The jury determined Ticketmaster overcharged customers by nearly $2 per ticket. It's not clear how or if the company will have to pay that back or if Live Nation will be forced to sell Ticketmaster. A judge will now decide all that.
It may have a marginal effect on ticket prices in the long run, and maybe the performers will get a bigger share of it, and maybe the consumers will see some benefit, I think marginally, from the remedies that arise.
Live Nation is vowing to appeal. The states won their case even after the Department of Justice surprisingly settled its case, forcing out the DOJ's antitrust chief who had promised to take on big monopolies. She's now praising the states, saying they fought the good fight. Andrea Fujii, ABC News, New York.
When we come back, AI impersonation, the backlash from the film industry after late actor Val Kilmer is resuscitated by AI in a new film. Why they're asking for protections. Causing controversy in Hollywood. That's because AI is bringing back late actor Val Kilmer to life on the big screen after he passed away. While his family gave their okay to the filmmakers, others in the industry are speaking out against the AI resuscitation. ABC's Sophie Flay reports.
This morning, a year after his death, Val Kilmer is returning to the silver screen.
Don't fear the dead, and don't fear me.
The first trailer for the film, As Deep as the Grave, features what appears to be the former Batman star.
We lost Val, and we had to basically cut a huge portion of the original story.
Kilmer was cast in the movie while he was alive, but got too sick to shoot his parts. Now, using artificial intelligence, the filmmakers have included versions of Kilmer at various ages. Kilmer's daughter tells Variety her father always looked at emerging technologies with optimism as a tool to expand the possibilities of storytelling. The spirit is something that we are all honoring within this specific film, of which he was an integral part.
One last thing. Who's the better pilot? You or me?
This is a nice moment. Let's not ruin it.
Back in 2022, an AI voice was created for Kilmer's dialogue in Top Gun Maverick after he underwent throat surgeries. But this new application of AI is controversial. Writers and actors went on strike in 2023 demanding safeguards against it. Actor Jackson Rathbone saying, "About that strike we had, you owe us an explanation," adding, "This is truly the most disgusting thing I've ever seen." But the Guild says the film isn't breaking any of its rules because the family's consent was obtained, and the filmmakers are standing by their decision.
This was this important historical character, and Val really identified with the character.
We're in this project demonstrating what we think is a good way to appropriately handle a performance like this in an ethical way.
They say the AI-generated Kilmer is on screen more than an hour and claim the performance is award-worthy. Sophie Flay, ABC News, New York.
Before we go to break, lots of blue skies in our Barry Law Tower camera. We're going to final check of this gorgeous Thursday forecast for you coming up after the break.
It's not always about hitting the right notes. It's about a career in tune with your life. The Synergy Effect. Brought to you by Synergy Home Care.
ABC's seamless steel gutters are larger and stronger than traditional gutters, carrying away 33% more water from your home and handling even the heaviest rains. Stay dry, look great with ABC seamless gutters. Learn more at abcofnebraska.com.
It's Hy-Vee's one-day sale, Friday, April 17th. Hy-Vee eggs, just 99 cents. Dole chopped or premium salad kits, just $2.48. Fresh ground chuck, $4.88 a pound. Hy-Vee pasta sauce, just $1.28. Hy-Vee ice cream, $1.99. Save on Hy-Vee water and more, Friday, April 17th. And every day, you'll find the same low prices online as in store, only at Hy-Vee.
Ernie's Mattress First, your local sleep specialists.
You need auto parts? Don't waste time. Rock Auto has all you need on one screen. Compare brands, see customer favorites, ask a friend for advice. Online shopping done right.
All the parts your car will ever need, Rock Auto.
It's cold enough in here to freeze the tail off a corgi.
Feels fine to me.
We need heat. I'll just call Dave's.
Family-owned Dave's Heating and Air is Lincoln's heating and air experts. We install quality Bryant equipment and will do whatever it takes to make your home feel comfortable and cozy.
Whether you need service, repairs, or a new system, the Dave's family is here for you.
See, Linda, everything's fixed.
Dave always saves the day.
Dave's Heating and Air, professional service you can trust.
Someone who gets your sense of style is appreciated, especially after being in a hospital gown all week. The Synergy Effect, brought to you by Synergy Home Care.
All right, Houston, you got about 5 minutes before you can just rush outside and start getting some sunshine.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, God bless, and I'm out here. I mean, it's a beautiful, beautiful afternoon. If you can, get out there and enjoy, especially this evening. Doesn't really look too bad. The winds will calm down. Now, Friday morning, if you're in eastern Nebraska, you're going to be waking up, walking out the door, temperatures in the 60s and 70s. But grab that jacket. Cold front's going to move through, bringing some strong north winds. It's going to be chilly. And then Sunday looks to be our next top 10 day, as Andrew loves.
I'm keeping track of them, man. You can't say every day is a top 10. All right, thank you so much for joining us. GMA 3 is coming up next. Have a great rest of your day.
At Comfort Made Mattress Factory, we build each mattress specifically for you right here in our locally owned store. We can even make his side different than hers, backed by our lifetime comfort guarantee.
Let your voice be heard by sharing your photos and videos to the Now Local News app. Earn points and redeem them for gift cards. Scan the QR code to join.
Being a chief meteorologist isn't just a job, it's a passion. I care about every storm, every forecast, because this community matters to me. I've spent decades tracking Nebraska weather, and now I'm proud to be Lincoln's longest-serving chief meteorologist. This community has trusted me through snowstorms, heat waves, and everything in between, like the top 10 days. Every forecast and every storm, my goal is simple, to keep you safe, because this is my community too. I'm Rusty Dawkins, Chief Meteorologist for Channel 8, and I'm not going anywhere.
Don't miss the Hot Tub and Swim Spa Blowout Expo this weekend at the Sandhills Global Event Center. Browse a huge display of hot tubs, cold therapy tubs, and swim spas from 5 major brands at up to 50% off. Financing is available and show admission is free. That's this weekend at the Sandhills Global Event Center. Visit hottubexpo.com.
Looking for a truck repair company you can trust? Stevenson Truck Repair is your one-stop repair shop, performing both mechanical and body repairs on all types of vehicles, from motorhomes to fleet vehicles. Stevenson has you covered. Stevenson Truck Repair, just south of 27th and Superior. Proud to be a BBB accredited business.
Your morning forecast with Houston Hall at 5, 6, and 11 a.m.
It's time for GMA 3. The husband of the woman who disappeared in the Bahamas now returning to the U.S. after just telling us this.
My sole focus is finding Lynette.
We have the latest. We're checking in to Vanderpump Villa.
Keep calm and carry on.
Lisa Vanderpump is here, giving us the scoop on the new season, plus how she's hitting the jackpot with her next big project. And how will they beat the first weekend in the California desert? We're counting down to Biebercella Round 2. It's time for GMA 3.
Hello, good afternoon. Oh, Justin Bieber. A lot of folks are talking about Biebercella.
Absolutely.
He was a hit. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Stephanie Ramos.
Adam Wade Johnson here alongside Rhiannon and Allie, and so glad that you can join us on this Thursday.
Yes, we have a great show planned. We have Deals and Steals Superfan Week still happening. Tori Johnson is here with Jan Doman, a preschool teacher from Rigby, Idaho. She is so lovely. I got to talk with her before the show, and her and Tori have deep discounts on jeans, hair, skincare, and so much more, and it's up to 75% off, so good deals. Really looking forward to that. Also ahead, concert goers, listen up. What the verdict against Live Nation could mean for your next ticket. That story's up next.
We were already talking about that before the show even started. We do begin, though, with the husband of the American woman missing in the Bahamas returning to the U.S. after vowing to stay and search for his wife. Victor Oquendo has the latest.
Ryan Hooker's attorney confirming he has left the Bahamas to be with his ailing mother, just 2 days after vowing to stay and search for his missing wife, Lynette.
My only focus is to go back to the boat and then hire or beg people to help me go find some areas to search.
Is that what's next for you?
That's what's next for me until my visa runs out.
So you plan on staying in the Bahamas?
Yes, this is where my wife is.
Pledging to not give up on finding her.
My sole focus is finding Lynette. No matter how likely or unlikely that is, this search for Lynette has been interrupted by the investigation. I'm not leaving until I'm told to leave or convinced that it's fruitless.
Ryan reported Lynette missing nearly 2 weeks ago, telling authorities she fell overboard during rough weather as the couple was riding their dinghy to their sailboat where they lived. Family, friends, and police records show Brian and Lynette's 25-year relationship was turbulent and even violent at times. Lynette's mother and daughter have had questions about Brian's story. And have you spoken with the family, with Lynette's mother or daughter, since you've been released from police custody?
No, I have not.
Our thanks to Victor Oquendo for that update there. We want to turn now to a story that has us all talking. It's a major ruling against entertainment giant Live Nation. A jury finding that the parent company of Ticketmaster illegally monopolized the ticket market and also overcharged customers. Our Perry Russum is here now with the latest. Perry.
Yeah, the story affects so many of us. So it seems like every time we tried to buy tickets for a big concert, we had to go through Ticketmaster. Now that could change thanks to a jury right here in New York. The way fans buy tickets for concerts could be changing forever, as a jury in New York finds Live Nation acted as an illegal monopoly. Dozens of states sued Live Nation and its subsidiary Ticketmaster, claiming they illegally dominated major concert venues and kept ticket prices too high. A deposition of Ben Lovett of Mumford & Sons was among the evidence during the 6-week trial that included these messages between Live Nation employees bragging about their ability to gouge customers and charge fees that are robbing them blind. The decision could be a devastating blow to Live Nation. The judge could force the company to split from Ticketmaster and pay hundreds of millions of dollars in fines. The jury found Ticketmaster overcharged its customers by $1.72 per ticket. That money plus damages could be coming back to consumers.
Even though $1.72 might seem small, that's essentially saying that, okay, you overpaid by $1.72 each time you bought a ticket. If we're talking about hundreds, if not thousands of consumers buying tickets, that's going to multiply over time.
Welcome to the Eras Tour. Taylor Swift's The Eras Tour ticket fiasco in part fueled the lawsuit. That's when Ticketmaster's website was overwhelmed during the pre-sale event. Days into the trial last month, the Department of Justice settled its antitrust lawsuit with Live Nation, but more than 30 states, including New York, stayed with the trial, ending in the jury's historic decision. Live Nation denies being a monopoly. In a statement, the company says the verdict is not the last word on this matter. They say pending motions will determine the liability and damages. They say they will appeal any ruling that is not